All right, let's get this day rolling along. I was starting out by I was over on Ravenous Catalyst page. It was in my feed, so I was checking something out, and I went down in the comments, and this pinned comment really seems like a good place to start because it definitely was responded to. Check that out. Make it bigger, read it, whatever you got to do. My point was, as much as I think the person was off base with his ASAP, ain't never gonna get past where he is. Just making lyrical songs don't mean anything if they're just a random conglomeration of words that rhyme with each other. Well, that's ridiculous, and the responses say that. But I think the sad truth is because of the quality of the content, the depth of the lyrical experience. I mean, the unfortunate truth is we want. It appears we want the vulgar, the profane, the simple. As long as you can be easily led around by it and hypnotized by it, it's good. Or as long as it sells you some other shit on top of it. And I think it's funny a little bit because I didn't even know I would take to it when Mike Henry turned me onto this stuff way back when. Ravenous giving me the incentive to keep returning and keep returning. But I wouldn't necessarily say it was up my alley until I started listening to what was being said. And I'm like, wow, there's a whole lot more substance there. And to tie this all together, it happened, and I could be wrong. But that the last Hail Mary Mallon that we did, let's see, that's, yeah, I forget. Wales. Oh yeah. There's a comment there. They're basically saying, and if the premise is homeless dudes talking about what they do with their money, my only reflection I think is in the reaction. It sure didn't sound like the dreams of someone. How come the dreams were the over the top negative uses of money? There was no. It didn't seem like the little ray of light. And this is what my point was. I think the comment didn't see past the surface. They see what they see. They see two homeless people. I don't know what they're thinking of the Alice in Wonderland mouse or worm. That the ideas were a lot different than just the Poe thinking about Mo. I just don't buy that. And I think that's what caught me here was that, well, the problem is if you can't see it, you're probably never going to take to it because that's just a bunch of words. But I think some of the concepts don't go through our peers' brain enough so that the whole idea disappears. It escapes them. And I found the whole thing a little bit interesting, and I definitely believe that there is a substance here that is undeniable, and it's just the willingness to understand the position, context, maybe backstory of the artist in the first place to even know what the hell's being said. Because I think what they're doing is going like I would easily want to do. Well, that makes so little sense. Oh, it's catchy, but I don't get it. Well, that's what the comment should have said. I don't get it. Not, it means nothing. I don't know. Let's cook them ideas up and see if we can get a coffee cup out of it.
From the treehouse, you can now see the silhouette. Greasy poor, needy boy speeding off in a limo stretch. CD talk, slow and low towers come through his widow's edge. Sleepy dog lying for science, dancing pillow pit. Creepy still leaning on tire iron and lobby glass. 44 door to door, the more red and body bags. Posse pack, corduroy water toys and karate class. I'll be back, Bayo with Beowulf in a Chachi mask. Copy that. Roger this modern twist.
I don't know. Now, I don't think... I better check. According to my control panel, I don't know. I don't know if I've heard it. I've definitely heard Beowulf references, and then, what was that, karate class and something? This is kind of like, I want to reflect on that comment, where it might not make sense to me, but if I'm putting ideas like, taking the pop references, you would have to take ideas from the story of Beowulf, not the word Beowulf, right? That's the problem. If you just take it at the surface, then maybe it's just a hollow pop reference to people. And if you're not familiar with the story or its many retellings, then it just whoop, right over your head. And if 60-70% go right over your head, then I suppose it'd get cumbersome to keep listening. It'd be a chore. Now, for me, I'm not even sure what's going on yet, but I already hear enough intriguing lines, plus this art in the background is bomb-ass good. I love that style, the heavy contrast. I can't remember, was it a Nagel? I did it was a Vampirella remake, but I did it in the style I really cut down on the, there's some shadowing there. I'm not, it's more like comic book inking or flash tattoo art. It's really cool. I like it. I don't know shit. I'm not pretending I do. What I'm saying is I think you have to be able to mix all the ideas together before you can even start figuring out the context in some places. Or they spell it out for you. Then, I don't know if people watch enough movies or read enough books, but as soon as they spell it out for you in a clear way, you should filter everything you just heard through that idea, and you probably start unlocking the cipher a little bit. I think. I'm guessing.
Big glass, 44 door to door, the more red and body bags. Posse pack, corduroy water toys and karate class. I'll be back, Bayo with Beowulf in.
Yeah, so like right there, I think there's, as always, I think this is the part people miss sometimes, maybe reflecting on that comment that we're harping on, is there are themes. Who am I? Where did I come from? How badass are my bars? How thick is my beat? How above the game am I? And can I flex on my skill set, this, that, or a lot? Now, after that, there's all the personal references to people's lives and experiences, and I listen to this album almost every day at work now, and is that third? I can't remember the title. The Mr. T at Carnegie's song, and then you take like that one. It's a moment in time. It's not hard to figure out, but when, let's say I don't get what's going on, the first thing I do is filter it through the game, the skill set, all the other hip hop in general, because it's in all of it for the most part. And that's a great place to start. Even though some of it, like this, we're at that, it's way more obscure and complicated than, I sold some crack and banged your girlfriend song. A lot of times they're dealing with people selling crack and banging someone's girlfriend. They just find a much more creative way of saying it.
With Beowulf in a Chachi mask. Copy that. Roger this modern twist on a running theme. Honesty, dominate pocket change for the other team. Gutter clean, chimney swept, give him death for a color scheme. Make shell over bland, white band like over Hunter Green.
And then there, to go back, if I didn't realize, I caught it in The Impossible Kid, the Regrets. Oh man, I'm crap with titles. the regrets or the reflecting on art class and what's the one where he's talking about Van Gogh, and I kind of like that one Van Gogh now. What? Well, yeah, I don't think he's a psychopath. I mean, the guy worked his ass off, and I kind of like that one painting. The art. If not, I'll leave that pigeon in the background. If you're not filtering it through some of the other stuff too, maybe that makes it harder to listen to for the first time listener or the Eminem idol worshiping cult member who just wants to shit on anybody else.
Forward, whole court, close to the watching eye. Tears like his are tenured and rendered for when his father died. Anchored to his ankle, entangled for when his pockets line. Golden goose, soling to bowling shoes for his Columbine. Hyper ride, tag along, add a song to your mini mix. Mega man, Egger Van, raise a clamp to his chinny chin. 66, root down, moving down to the Dixie chick. This monkey brought a weapon to heaven. Give him a pixie stick, is he sick?
Like, I mean, it's really hard because I don't know what all's going on, but that sounded like I went from someplace else through Route 66 in that's an odd way of saying it, but I'm pretty sure that was like a movement bar. I went from this place to that place. So, I mean, as I go along, I just think that person was kind of copping out. I think they should have just said, I don't get it. Or I'm not willing to try to get it, which is probably the truest of all true statements. What they really probably just wanted to say is, I don't have the time or effort to figure this out. I like my shit simple. Mushroom stamped by my favorite artist right in the middle of my forehead.
Give, so make him hurl all the stuff he drank. Hold his hand behind his back, get his hat and his money thanks. Once he blanks, stand him up, hand him some of them onion rings and tell him that he's good. Got it pushed, all right, cutty rank.
Okay, sorry, this is going to be really long. This onion ring reference make me hungry, thirsty. I need something. Sorry, I couldn't find no food, but I read these ingredients and I'm positive, that's probably convincing me I don't care about food anymore. Pretty sure that shit's not real. I think a lot of that stuff's probably that. Is it what are that's in yoga mats? I'm told one of these ingredients is really super bad for me. We all choose the demons that haunt us. Mine comes from, an energy drink company. Just true. Onion rings. I heard some about onion. Why is this the high point?
He's sick, if so make him hurl all the stuff he drank. Hold his hand behind his back, get his hat and his money thanks. Once he blanks, stand him up, hand him some of them onion.
Huh. That's weird. I don't know why this is the most replayed. I'm going to guess that the majority of the bars are going right over my head right in the first listen.
If so, make him hurl all the stuff he drank. Hold his hand behind his back, get his hat and his money thanks. Once he blanks, stand him up, hand him some of them onion rings and tell him that he's good. Got it pushed, tiny cutty rank. Sidewinders wind through fried wires in a room of hired primates climbing on typewriters, trying desperately to organize an alphabet and prose.
Okay, right there. Well, in the reference to, so whatever you think you're hearing, but the reference to the higher primates, that's us, right? So then us on the balancing act, the riding the razor's edge, what now?
Sidewinders wind through fried wires in a room of hired primates climbing on typewriters.
Yeah. Oh. Wait, was that a reference to if you give a bunch of monkeys typewriters, eventually they'll write the works of Shakespeare thing? We can look that up. I don't know, but it seems like you give the room of higher primates typewriters.
Sidewinders wind through fried wires in a room of higher primates climbing on typewriters.
Yeah. In a room of higher primates climbing on typewriters. Now, I don't know. I have no idea what it means in the context of the song, but I'll tell you this. I know about that one reference, so it's like, isn't there some weird quote about that? Random chance, I think it might be having something to do with. So then I'd be like, maybe if I if I was really interested and I wanted to get the full meal deal out of this, not just that easy listening, fuck that, fuck the value menu. I've had enough of that. It's just like my rock star. They'd only feed me so much yoga mat compound before I start rebelling against it and would like to think outside the box or examine the contents deeper. And this seems like one of those moments. I just don't see why it's hard to realize there's way more there. I just might not be smart enough to get it.
Trying desperately to organize an alphabet and prose that would render them in drastically exaggerated roles. I know I shouldn't care and I'm too old to play the dozens, but admittedly I visualize some ultimate comeuppance with heads on pikes and pikes on walls and hellbound night.
Wow, I'm not positive, but it like seems like I'm not sure I can get well adjusted from it all. The random chaos creating this world. I'd like to see somebody get theirs. I don't know if that's right, but that's kind of my takeaway from just these. I mean, what do we get, like 30 seconds of shit?
Organize an alphabet and prose that would render them in drastically exaggerated roles. I know.
Yeah, because they nail it with.
The exaggerated roles, I know I shouldn't care and I'm too old to play the dozens, but admittedly I visualize some ultimate comeuppance with heads on pikes and pikes on walls and hellbound knights who deny all involvement. It's awful. Off on a tough blue hubby, got a buck-toothed youth from an uncool cubby who step inside the club like a statue crying blood. Dance floor scatter, staff asking why'd I come. Man, shamefully, whichever way you cut it, I was trying to impress some people I can't even stomach. You'd like to think you're cool enough to not.
Yeah, now that seems like a reference to hitting the stage, especially trying to impress people I can't stomach. So then right here, I instantly go, well, I'm going to reflect upon the game, upon them reflecting on moments they've had trying to, create their art, deliver it to rooms full of people. And I don't know. Once again, don't know if I'm right, but it seems it could lend to some of those ideas, and it's a decent place to start thinking about it.
Dance floor scatter, staff asking.
Now, of course, that commenter just might not be inspired enough to put the deeper thought into it. And I'm not saying I'm right, and I shouldn't say it's deeper. I could be a fucking idiot. I accept that. But I certainly think I'm getting the full meal deal and then some. I mean, they're strolling the dessert cart by me right now at 18 minutes. I'm telling you.
Why'd I come? Man, shamefully, whichever way you cut it, I was trying to impress some people I can't even stomach. You'd like to think you're cool enough to not care if you're cool, but the spirit gets distracted. The flesh is fucking cruel. It drag you to the tempest, then extend you to the wolves. This would be
bullshit. I think that's part of the game and the system.
Can't even stomach. You'd like to think you're cool enough to not care if you're cool, but the spirit gets distracted. The flesh is.
Oh, you like to think you're cool enough to think you don't have to be cool. That is so cool. I'm not trying to be dumb. That is. Yeah, that's why I think a lot of this is so similar to what the genre of music is. It's just delivered in such a better way. I get tired of the same vulgarities and I mean, honestly, I can't listen to certain musics because it's like the same thing over and over and over again. The creativity is in the toilet, but it's got a beat and I can dance to it. It sells me Coca-Colas and Nikes. It's got to be good. Does it? Does it really?
It's fucking cruel. It drag you to the tempest, then extend you to the wolves. This would be the time if you had any cool signature moves. Escape artist, scarable, now to spook the horses. From zero to a symphony of molecules in orbit. I never had a gold chain, never had a cold beer. Had a code name and a moral code he hold dear.
Bullshit. I think the gold chain's a reference to a side of the game he's indicting or been burned by, in my personal opinion. In this moment, don't know what the whole thing's about. in general.
Guts pecked out, pig snout, roast beard. ABC, fingers stuck in both ears.
I really liked it, obviously. Was I the only one noticing this? Hey, it's really sparkly. It's a nice shirt underneath the straight jacket. I don't know. I just noticed. At one point, it bad. What it is I don't think what I'm watching is very good quality. It tells me I need to update my browser for high def. So I think honestly, it looked like it was sparkly, sequiny, and it was not. I'm looking. It's a damn shame that's what I get distracted by. Overall, not quite sure, but plenty of art in the video. Incredible bars, and once again, I think the reoccurring theme right now is total permission to go back and look again and again and again and again. As always, replayability seems to be through the roof. But maybe some individuals want it so simple they can absorb it all in one moment and be done. And I like the replayability. I like being able to go back and go, I don't know what this was about, but it was cool. Let's see. Let's try again. Because, like for reacting, it's a whole nother experience than just letting the thing play in the kitchen or the car. It's just great. Not a bad way to start the day. Later.